Good morning. So it's Monday morning. We had a pretty good end of the week there last week. Got all the neighbors' barley dried for him. Got it all hauled back to his place. What else did we do? Made some bags. It was my daughter's birthday on the 17th, so we had rented the arena for this weekend. So on Sunday we were down there doing a little bit of skating. That was good. And now we're back to the bags. So crazy fog come in here this morning. It was pretty nice. Now it's all foggy and a bit cold. Nothing too crazy. So for right now, I'm going to get right into making bags. I do have to fill up my barley bin, but I got a gentleman there from Fort St. John that's in Grand Prairie now, so he wants to pick up some feed. He's never been here before, so I want to get his bags made before he takes off back up to Fort St. John. So I'm going to get going at that stuff here right quick. Good afternoon. So all day again today is making bags. But I was looking around here the other night, last night I guess, I went up by the bins and I plowed some snow because I have to fill up my bins tomorrow. And I had bought a bunch of lights in a package at a Ritchie Brothers auction sale. And I pretty much knew that they were probably not going to work because there was like 4 light bars and 4 big lights, like maybe 6-inch lights, and then like 12 little, I don't know, 5-inch lights or 4-inch lights. And you can buy them at the Ritchie Brothers auctions for like, I don't know, between $300 and $700, which seems pretty reasonable because one big light bar can be worth like $800, $900. But I wondered, I was a little bit skeptical, and I thought these things probably are just garbage. Because in my experience with places like Princess Auto and stuff like that, everything in there, maybe save for like 5% of the stuff they have, is complete junk. It's all junk. It's all brand new, but it's all junk. None of it is worth any money at all. So I was thinking, like, a lot of us are like, not a lot of us, but a lot of people are, we want to fight everything and environment this and, don't do this and we got to save the environment and on and on and on. They should pick that to protest. The fact that they're mass producing garbage. So this stuff is, it's a third of the price of what a good one is, but it shouldn't cost, they shouldn't be able to build it because it's junk. Like, it failed instantly. So I put 4 lights on the back of my plow tractor. I put a light bar on the roof. I put a light bar on the roof of this tractor. 2 lights on the front. Instantly, the little lights, the lenses fell off. So that's kind of crazy. You're thinking like, wow, that's junk. The big red ones, one failed completely and the other one just flashes. I mean, it's probably going to fail momentarily. And even the light bars, I don't know how long they are. Probably like 48 inches. But some of the lights in there have already failed. It's got like, whatever, say 30 lights across it, LED lights. And some of them are already failing. So when we're allowed to make that kind of stuff and then sell it, it instantly ends up in the landfill. So you need all that time and resources and machinery to create this product that basically you buy it, use it for like a minute or 2. Sometimes it's already failed in the package, and then you throw it right in the garbage. So you got the landfill, getting bigger and bigger and bigger. Now, recycle it. Like, I don't know if anybody's watched any of these documentaries about recycling. I watched one the other day about Amazon returns in Toronto. What a joke! Like, that's crazy. That stuff just goes right to the dump. I think 2 of the 3 trucks they put tracking devices in just went straight to the dump. So the recycling, and that's the thing, like, all of this stuff sounds really good in theory, and I think it's great too. I think, if we can all drive around in electric cars and recycle everything, we should be doing that. I just don't believe it can work. I mean, my mom even had a hybrid car once. It didn't work. Maybe it was a little before its time. I think it was a 2004 or whatever, and it was half electric, half gas powered. But I can tell you right now, if that thing was all electric, old mother, she would have just give the car away and walked. because there's no way she could have got anywhere, especially up here in northern Alberta in the winter. I mean, she tried in the summer. She thought, well, I'll see how far I can go before the electric motor kicks in. Or, sorry, the gas motor kicks in. So she would get like 3/4 of a mile, and then she'd start going up a hill, and right away it would turn back, it would turn on. Now, okay, yeah, maybe these Teslas and all this stuff works great going across the flat terrain of Arizona or whatever, but I don't know, you're gonna struggle convincing most people up here that this is gonna work, Not to mention when you gotta fire up the heater because it's minus 40 outside, and you got the windshield wipers blasting, and the bug juice is pumping through there like crazy because the salt on the road is getting on your windows. You need to create a lot of horsepower to run all that stuff. So if we ever get to the point where we can do that, I would be excited. I would love to own an electric car and never have to stop at a fuel pump ever again. And just drive home and plug it in. I would be great. I'd be all for that. I think it's probably not going to happen. Probably won't even happen in my lifetime. I don't know. I'm sure there's people down somewhere just sitting around inventing stuff and making huge leaps and bounds in the battery electric car, in that whole world. But I don't think it's going to be practical for me. Probably will never see it, in a tractor or anything like that either. But so I guess my point to that is, instead of fighting all this, like, oh, we can't burn no fossil fuels, and we can't do this, and we can't do that, and we can't, and meanwhile we're consuming like the Pac-Man. We're just driving, gobble 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 gobble. Oh, there's more stuff. Gobble 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 gobble, and it's all junk, and it's all worthless, and we don't need it. Like, let's all start there instead of getting mad at Exxon for exploring for oil. Let's just say, okay, you know what? Let them do that. Let's get working on these things that we want to replace that. But in the meantime, what we're going to do is we're going to focus our energy on complaining and protesting the nonsense of mass production of garbage for a mass population of consumer that's just like, oh, give me more garbage. I need more garbage. I got empty shelving space on my house. I need to put garbage on there. I want this clock that doesn't even keep time, and I want, this cup that the handle falls off instantly and leaks all over your face, and you get, let's start there. Because if we could stop producing all that stuff, we wouldn't have to ship it over here from wherever it comes. You'd be saving on that. The people that are building top quality stuff, if all that mediocre garbage below quality stuff wasn't on the market, then the 2 or 3 people that are building good quality stuff, they would be the competition for themselves, and they would have to start charging less, so you would get the better quality stuff for less money anyways. Like, the only reason that stuff can be high quality or high price is because there's a terrible quality product there that you think, like, oh, well, I'll just get that, it's way cheaper, but it doesn't work. It's garbage. You're better to just get the good one. So if the poor quality stuff didn't even exist and all the good stuff was there, then in order to make the sale and to get the customers, the people that are making that would have to drop the price. They couldn't drop the quality, or else they'd fall into the category of junk and you wouldn't buy it. So that's my 2 cents for the day. I think we should be doing that. I'm done my last bag of roll-outs I gotta make. I'm just gonna I'm gonna turn these lights on and point them out, and then hopefully, if you were on the fence and you're like, oh, I wish this farmer would just shut his face and just show us farming, maybe you'll be like, oh man, he's right. Because all these lights that I put on these tractors basically don't leave the yard. All they do is make feed. That plow tractor, aside from plowing a little bit of snow, it just sits there. So there's no way those lights should have failed. And I don't really like to make feed at night, so they're hardly ever on. They're probably been on for like 18 hours, and they already are all junk. So these are the little lights that I put on this tractor. The lenses fell off instantly. That's the light bar I put on. The light's about right here where my finger is. A bunch of them quit working. And these are the lights I put on this tractor. So 2 little ones and 2 big ones up top. That one over there failed right away. They filled up with water because they're not sealed right. And that's crazy too, because you wouldn't think mounted like that they'd fill with water, but they did. So I'm gonna turn them all on, and yeah, you'll be able to see, like, yeah, those are junk. So if you're looking at Ritchie Brothers too, and you're like, holy moly, in timed auction, they got all these light packages, don't buy them, they're garbage. See, this one's flashing like crazy. That one, like, only some of the lights are bright. The other one over there failed completely. So, good evening. I finished up my last bag. I was just gonna run out and tie the bags up, and then I'm gonna go in and have supper. I didn't stop for lunch today. So, as always, to those of you who are faithfully watching, thank you. If there's any new people, thank you for tuning in. And rule of the day, I guess, be cautious of these too good to be true deals on some of this new in-box merchandise. If it's, you know, cheap, it's probably cheap, and it's probably not worth buying. So, everybody, have a good evening, and we'll see you all in a few days.